And we're grateful to Franco Trading Enterprise and Kotoka Natural Fruit Juice this morning for bringing us news flash here on Prime Morning. If you just joined us here on the show, a very good morning to you, and thanks for always staying with us. Our WhatsApp line is active for you to join in the conversation here on the show, and we're also streaming live on our social handles. On Facebook, you can get us over there on YouTube as well. And of course, you can also follow us on X and join us with your comments. So we'll be more than glad to read from you this morning here on the show. And thank you once again to Franco Trading Enterprise. Your best bet when it comes to your home appliances is the very place you want to go today. Our branches are all open. We have got some discount for you as well. As always, we're showing love. And if you need the best of appliances, and I'm talking about your air conditioners, your fridges, your CCTV cameras, your blenders, your microwaves, your phones, you can always get them from Franco Trading Enterprise. Quality is guaranteed, and we've got the very best of customer service, no doubt about it. Download the app on Google Play Store. It's the Franco Trading app, and you're good to go. You can get all the numbers and the branches. You can also get to have every other, equipment or appliance that you need over there, and you can make your choices. Now, don't forget, you can also download, get into our website. It's www.francotrading.com, and you can get all the details that you need, the numbers you can call us on, and all of that. And once again, we entreat you not to call us from numbers you pick from social media. You either get on the app, and then get a number from there, or you can also do so on the website, and you're good to go. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones, papa, few. And also, Kotoka Natural Fruit Juice is what we're all talking about. We are enjoying it. It's the best on the market. And don't forget that any one that you buy goes a long way to motivate a Ghanaian cocoa farmer. It is proudly Ghanaian. It's made right here in Ghana. And it is for you and your loved ones out there. It's the family thing. And it's naturally refreshing and stimulating. Every taste bad. Don't forget that it's made from the fresh taste from cocoa, and so if you're buying it, you're definitely supporting, like I said, the cocoa farmers are there to continue to also keep working. Now, this is what we're talking about. If you want to quench your thirst, it has to be the Kotoka Natural Fruit Juice. It's healthy and it's good for you. All right? So go grab yours today as you go about your daily activities. And trust me, you wouldn't regret it. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise and Kotoka Natural Fruit Juice here on Prime Morning. We're going to get into our conversation this morning here on the show. Earlier in the intro, I was telling you about some of the things we'll be looking at. Two things, major things that we're looking at this morning. And it's the renaming of Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. Now, remember that it used to be Accra International Airport, and debates sprang up a couple of weeks ago when the government decided that they were going to change the name from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. It comes with a lot of concerns about the fact that we've got a coup person name boldly written or put on our gateway to the country, and they believe that it is something that should not be entertained. Now, the minority were against it and spoke about even the fact that the government is actually betraying the voter region. And Honorable Afinyo Makins, on the floor of Parliament, made several issues why this name is not supposed to be changed. But unfortunately, for the minority, unfortunately for the majority, of course, who form a very huge part of the decision making in Parliament, decided that the name will be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of it and also find out what financial implication this is going to be in terms of changing the name Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. We'll look at that here on the show. And then GES has also suspended all activities that has to do with inter-school competition in the central region. We'll be looking at that. This comes in the wake of the violence that happened during the inter-schools competition a couple of days ago. And we'll be looking at what exactly this also means moving forward as a nation. But we're going to get into the front page of the various newspapers that we have here and see what has been reported. I start off with the Daily Graphic. And on the front page, it says Kotoka International Airport reverts to Accra International Airport. One of the major issues we're talking about today. Page 42 has got a story on that. And away from that, government should enable economy not to control it. Minority leader Afinyo Makin says so. Economy post fastest turnaround, and 40 Ghanaian languages face extinction. That's a sad one. Page 13 has got a story on that, you can read about it. Teacher line session exam not cancelled, NTC. Speaks on that as well. At the back page, got the stories over there. Government to roll out specialist nursing program to tackle skills gap, and ministers visit injured tomato merchants at hospital, assure them of support. That's some stories that are making the front page of the Daily Graphic. Let's get to the Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper, and it says Ofanko and Sawem Road project progressing steadily. Contractor to complete work on schedule. Resident engineer says so. And illegal mining, Asantene urges government to adopt measures to preserve water bodies. Page 13 has got the story on that on front page of the Ghanaian Times. GES suspends into school sports in Central Region as police probes incident, and 4 arrested in deadly Ohim Tigo Junction robbery. That's also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times today. Back page, let me see what has been captured. Vice President donates to Cape Coast Central Mosque, and Ministry to prosecute fishermen using illegal nets. That's also at the back page of the Ghanaian Times, and it's got the Fisheries and Agriculture Minister captured over there, Miss Amelia Arthur. All right, so yeah. The next one is Overseer, and it says Ghana records strong fiscal recovery in 2025. Debt falls by 82 billion Ghana cedis, and away from that, conflict of interest at Cocoa Board as Asafwa demands Ato Boateng to steps aside, and that's also captured by the Overseer. Mahama appoints Aaron Kano as acting customs commissioner at GRA. And National Women's Ministries delegation pays courtesy call on gender minister. And in Central Region, GES suspends all inter-school sports after student clash at zonal competitions. Bongo DCE dies after short illness. That's also a very sad one coming through, and it's captured by the Overseer this morning. Let's get to the Finder newspaper, and it says gold surges past 5,160 US dollars, and as investors flock to safe haven assets. And Akabli highlights spiritual power of high life across Africa. Lack of budget and culture driving households into financial distress. And away from that, weak consumption, high unemployment threaten Ghana's recovery, data bank research indicates. And that's the new Finder. Let's go to the Economic Times this morning. It says Dr. Siama Esirin Ketia, others mourn late Economic Times editor Elom Desufu. That's captured by the Economic Times. Falling global prices set off new alarm bells for Ghana's cocoa pricing regime, and Energy Commission Board set to revolutionize Ghana's EV landscape with new regulations. Economic Times this morning. The last one will be the Insight newspaper, and it says all set for Ghana's Day of Shame today. Progressives, Pan-Africanists to speak at the public forum on Nkrumah's overthrow, and 60 years on exposing the anti-Nkrumah lies, falsehoods, and the vile propaganda. That's the Insight's reporting on that this morning. And Day of Shame in Nkrumah and the struggle for freedom. That's also captured by the Insight. Kotoka no more. Ghana restores Accra International Airport name. That's also captured by the Insight. So pretty much on the front page of the Insight has everything to do with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and a few of the things that they have stated will be happening. Ghana's Day of Shame, progressive Pan-Africanists to speak at the public forum on Nkrumah's overthrow. And so you can grab a copy of the Insights newspaper this morning and read all about the reports on Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and such a day where we see the Kotoka International Airport also revert back to Accra International Airport. Anyway, that's the newspapers this morning here on the show. But a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, who are Natural Fruit Juice, also supporting us this morning here on news flash. We're going to get into the conversation, like I said, but do send your messages to us. Let us know what you think. Do you believe that indeed is the right way to go for us to change the name from Kotoka to Accra International Airport? Now, GES has also stepped up, and they are, as investigation goes on, and they have also suspended all inter-schools competition in the central region. We're going to be looking at that also. You can send your messages to us, and we'll take a look at them as and when we have them here on the show. But my guests joining me this morning, I've got Madam Betty Crosby-Mensah, Technical Advisor, Minister of Sports and Recreation, going to be with us this morning here on the show. Grace Akosua Amoabeng would also join us as a member of the NPP Communications team. We're supposed to have had Janet Nabla also joining us this morning, flag bearer PNP. We understand that she's got a bit of emergency, but as and when we're able to get her, would also put her on as well. But these are the two major issues that I've mentioned that we'll be looking at this morning. Betty's already seated, so let me welcome her and see how she's doing. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, KMJ. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's been a while.
Yes, you've been where? Busy at the ministry, I guess.
Very much so.
How are things going on? And,
yeah, we are on. We are exciting the general community. That's the football fans. Everything
Absolutely.
Is going very well at the ministry.
And we're all looking forward to the World Cup.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, the Black Stars making some progress, some very good progress. And if all goes well, they bring us the trophy.
We are all very excited about it, and we are looking forward to a great, game.
Awesome. I'm grateful for your time this morning here in the studio. And you can also join us and share your thought with us. Send your messages to us. We'll be looking at all those messages that, you've sent. We'll read all of them. We'll make time today and read all of the messages that you sent to us here on the show today. All right, so great stuff. Anyway, let's start off with the airport, Kotoka International Airport. And this is a statement that was released by the government spokesperson. And it says, government has reverted the name of the national airport, Kotoka International Airport, to Accra International Airport, according to a statement which was issued yesterday by the Ministry of Transport. The facility was previously known as Accra International Airport before its name was changed. The ministry indicated that it has been deemed appropriate to return the airport to its former and internationally recognized name. The ministry assured the public that the name change will not affect airport operations, safety standards, and international travel arrangements. It's further also noted that the airport code ACC, which has always been on the, if you've traveled through the Kotoka International Airport on any international trip, you will see that the ACC is always there, even though the name is Kotoka. And they continue to say that as it's registered with the International Civil Aviation Organization, it remains the same and has also remained the same and will continue to be used. As such, the renaming process would involve a systematic update of official documentation, relevant statutory instruments, airport signage, digital platforms, aviation publications, and other related communication materials. The government has called on the general public, stakeholders, and international partners to cooperate with the relevant authorities to ensure a smooth and seamless transition. The ministry expressed appreciation to all stakeholders for their continued support. So basically, there are some financial implications. We are not too sure how much is going to be involved in terms of the few things that will be changed. But Betty, let me find out. A lot of people believe that whether we like it or not, because majority forms a big part of the Parliament House, this name change was definitely going to be happening, regardless of what noise in quotes that the minority will make in Parliament. But are you excited that we've changed the name?
Yeah, indeed. I think this is a time for celebration, if you ask me, especially for this huge decision made by the current government. To be exact, that is the Parliament of Ghana. It's a period of, I call it restoration. We're not erasing history, but rather we're restoring to the original name. That is the 1958 name that was given to our airport. If you ask me, I feel that we have come a long way, and this change, in fact, is long overdue, if you ask me. I remember very well in the year 2002, when His Excellency President Jacob Kufuor constituted the National Reconciliation Commission. I felt that that was the time that there was a need for us to do this restoration. especially looking at where we are coming from and where we are going. And so whether we like it or not, this was something that, was really, in our faces. It was coming. And I feel that the time has finally come, and it's indeed going to go a long way to promote the country. Sitting at where I am today, I feel that, tourism generally contributes magnificently to our GDP.
Yeah.
And so the name that we have currently that is our national airport, also goes a long way to sell our country. It could have been any name. We've had a number of forefathers. We have, people who have positively impacted economically in terms of development in our country. And I felt that if for nothing at all, it shouldn't be General Emmanuel Kotoka. We have the likes of Kofi Annan, who is a very internationally known. We have our very own first president of the Republic of Ghana, who, in fact, in our history, actually built this airport. And so if we really want to name it, after somebody who has impacted positively in our country, then it should be one of these people, even not forgetting our former president, His Excellency President Rawlings. So in all of this, they did the parliament or the current Ministry of Transport didn't look at any personality, but they felt that there was a need for us to restore to the old or the original name, and I don't see anything wrong with it at all.
Some believe that it's a bit politically motivated, and in fact, the minority have all even said that this was more like a betrayal to the people of the Volta region, who we know, in terms of political affiliation, you would want to say that these are the people that will be voting for the NDC in any election. But to do that to them is more of a betrayal than giving them hope in anything that you want to do as a government.
So, sincerely, if any political party has the right to project and promote the Volta region, of course, it's the NDC. And I believe sincerely that the NDC will not deliberately do anything that directly impacts on the Volta region. And so if you ask me, I think that is not the intention. However, it's more of a national interest for us to look at how we project the country. Of course, many of us here, in fact, yourself, KM, we have had the opportunity of traveling around, the globe.
Yeah.
And when we come to, the name in Kotoka, it's one of the, very internationally acclaimed, because whenever you're on an aircraft coming back to Ghana, the first name you hear is you are now at the Kotoka International Airport.
Yeah.
I feel that the name, the international airport, should be able to display or, publicly project and promote the country in a certain way, not by taking us back to probably the days of coup d'etat, but rather it's something that it should be able to promote our democratic situation as it is, as we see it now. We are enjoying, economic stability, we are enjoying political stability, and I think that is what we should portray as a country, not in the days that, politically, I would say we were divided, with coup d'etat. I think that shouldn't be the image that we should sell to the general public and the international world.
Okay, we'll be looking at the options that were available. Some people believe that there could have still been a name in the Volta region that this could have been named after. Others also think that, if the Accra was there before, let's leave it there. So if the current administration wanted to do something for the NPB, for the people of Volta region, they could have looked for a different name in the Volta region, and I don't know what your argument will be on that. But let me also welcome in studio this morning. Grace Akosua Amoabeng has joined us this morning here. She's MPP communications team member here on the show. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I like your outfit.
Oh, thank you very much.
Is it kente?
This is not kente.
Kente
This is not kente.
So maybe tomorrow.
The fugu rather. Fugu.
Fugu.
They said we should
now observe
fugu on Wednesdays. Right? We wear fugu on Wednesdays. Yes, so that will be tomorrow.
Have you done that last week?
No, I didn't.
I'm not sure you would.
Oh, why not? If I have to, I will do it.
But
yes, I'm getting one. I'll get one, and then Wednesday. I don't have any program on it. I should get more
because it's going to be every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Yes.
I'll try.
I'll try. Anyway, I'm grateful for your time this morning, and thanks for making time for us here on the show. Last time we spoke about this conversation and many other things that we've spoken about in terms of the name change for Kotoka International Airport. We're hoping that even if it was going to be a change, there will be a bit of deliberations, way before. Yesterday, the news just came up and they said they've already changed the name to Accra International Airport. What do you make of that?
Right. So I think the last time we were here, you said you talked about it and I don't know, these people, they don't care. They will do whatever they want to do. I mean, they don't have time to listen to what the Ghanaians have to say. Because I remember a lot of people spoke against it. Even, I think I saw a video of Kwame Nkrumah's son coming to about
he disagreed
something like this. At a time where people are crying for, cocoa farmers are crying for their monies to be paid. At a time that teachers are crying for their salaries. At a time that nurses have not been posted, they haven't received their allowances, they decide to change Kotoka International Airport towards Accra International Airport. Whilst people were advocating that they should take their time because there are more pressing issues. I think when I was here, I raised the point that when you change the name, it's like you are rebranding. Rebranding is a lot of money. Kotoka International Airport is an international airport. So if you make, I think when I was here, she said the internet is Ghana. It's called what, Ghana Airport something. I don't know.
Okay, before. Okay, so
yes. So I raised the argument that if you change the name from Kotoka International Airport, it means you're going to rebrand. When the name changes, everything that they are currently using in Kotoka International Airport will change. In
terms of documentation?
Exactly, because then they have to...
In terms of operations, they said nothing is changing.
No, but documentation. So I use an example like paper, let's say letterheads, all these things.
Yeah.
They have to change because now it's no more Kotoka International Airport. It is Accra International Airport. So all these things would have to change. And when it's changing, it will involve what? Money. The government will have to put in money to make these changes, right? So if there are pressing issues, people need money. What money are they going to use to do all these changes? Whilst cocoa farmers are crying, whilst teachers are crying, you have the time to change the name. Ghanaians were advocating that they should hold on, deliberate, and make sure like things are already in place for these change. Like they have the money, the budget and everything. But we slept and woke up and there we have Accra International Airport, just like the D-levy. They passed the levy at midnight when Ghanaians were sleeping. So if you should ask me, I think they don't care. They think they have the numbers to do whatever they want to do. So then when Ghanaians raise concerns, they don't care. They just want to go ahead and do whatever they want to do. If you should ask me, this is not important to any Ghanaian. If you should ask me, because Kotoka International, you've been using this name how many years? When she was talking, I heard her say, when people are coming into the country, it will change. It will remind.
Who has not been here?
It will remind. Please.
They're definitely going to be asking you the airport. The pilot will mention it.
Of course, whilst you are sitting in the plane, someone will ask you when everybody is ready, like trying to get down to find where they are to get transiting, get to their homes. They are in a hurry. You think somebody would want to ask you what the name Kotoka International means or where it comes from?
Well, there are some tourists.
Yeah, there are some tourists. But I'm saying that when
the background to that.
That's what I'm saying. When you are touching, I mean, you've flown to other places, right? When you touch down and everybody, some people even don't wait for us to get down. They're already up. After it lands, we are supposed to wait for it to taxi for a bit. Yeah. The moment that the plane starts taxiing and they hear the sound, they just get up.
Yeah.
So it's not of importance. Yes, it's good for them to think about it and make sure we change. Our history is very important. But at this critical time of every Ghanaian's life, this is not what we need. The timing is. We sat here and said it. We sat here and said a lot of things that the timing is wrong. A lot of things are going on in the country. There are pressing issues that are going on in this country. There are pressing issues that needs to be solved.
Problems. You don't think so?
Solving which problems? They are still crying. Cocoa farmers are so.
Previous monies that
cocoa farmers are still crying. You've given them a haircut. A haircut. You didn't even give them a bailout. Say, okay, if we've made bad calculations. We didn't give you we promised you this amount of money at this time. We couldn't give you this money. So we'll try and find money to make up for the loss, right? No. They went ahead and gave them a haircut. And you think this is of importance to how does this benefit the teacher? How does this benefit the farmer? How does this benefit even me sitting over here? How does it benefit me? People are crying, transport issues. People are crying. They are queuing in long queues. This has to do with the transport ministry. Yeah. People are crying, long queues, commuters are struggling to find buses and cars to work. And then this is what the transport ministry decides to focus on. Then we are lost as a country. And I said, they don't care about what any Ghanaians say. They will just get up and do anything that they want to do because they have the numbers. That is what I think. Because we sat here, so many people said this thing. They talked about it. The timing is wrong. Let's wait. Let's deliberate. Let's see how to. They don't care. That is all I'll say. They don't care. We just sleep and wake up, and then they've done whatever they want to do, just like the D-levy.
Betty, let's look at the implications in terms of the financial implications. In fact, they mentioned that not many things will change, but I mean, obviously, documentation, relevant statutory instruments, airport signage, digital platforms will change, aviation publications will change, and all of that. These are things that you're looking at. Money's going into it. Are we in the position to be spending?
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
A name is an identification.
Yeah.
A name, when you are born, the first thing that identifies who you are is your name. And so what identifies us as Ghanaians is our name, Ghana. And the airport, that is our international airport, is the gateway to the international world. And so it's very important that the name that we give to our international airport describes and tells our story, who we are. Now, I'll tell you this. My Grace was saying that nobody who is even interested in knowing the name when you are getting off a flight. And I tell you what, I want us to go back to our data and you realize that we are getting about 5.7% of our GDP from tourism. And that is huge. That is massive. That is about $4.8 billion. And so when you look at it, the number of people that are coming into this country because of our cultural reasons, because of the political stability, because of the economic stability, it brings in more in terms of revenue than any, you can think of. Now, when a tourist is coming here, and then you take your phone to Google, you Google Ghana, what is there? Even when you Google the airport, and then it comes out Kotoka International Airport, the person will want to know a little bit more about what the name stands for. And then what do we have? Does it really describe our situation as we have it today? And so whilst we want to look at minor costs, I call it minor costs, of course.
Minor.
Yes, I call them minor costs.
The reason because that we're not spending a lot on that.
We are not. Like you said, it's going to be systematic and, strategic. It's not going to be take off, like one big cost, but it's going to be systematic and strategic. Now, the benefit that this name changes is going to be massive. I feel that where we are as a country, as we sit now, we should be able to identify ourselves with our political stability, with, the other things that makes us rich and powerful, than, going back to things that do not really favor us, things that, of course, we somehow are even ashamed to be associated with. That, look, the very first president, whoever built this airport was overthrown by this name that has been given to the airport. I think that these are issues of concern to every Ghanaian. Again, what are we teaching our children? Generally, in terms of education, what are you teaching your child? That anybody at all can get up one day, take a gun and overthrow a government, and the person will be rewarded with an edifice in the country. I think these are some of the issues that, and when I started, I said that this thing is long overdue. That at the time when His Excellency President Kufuor established the National Reconciliation Commission, that was the time that the name changes, because this is a name that divides us, that doesn't unite us. Because a lot of people are saying, no, Kotoka is not the right person to be named after our international airport. Whilst a few, like you rightly said, the minority, if we look at it in terms of percentage ratio, the minority are saying, oh, why are they keeping it? What is the monumental developmental project that was established by Kotoka for us to be so proud that, oh, we want to name something like an airport after? Look, I'm telling you, there's so much that this government has gained. We are happy today when we're talking about stability, economic stability. We are talking about, the dollar rates going down. She talked about transport. Of course, today fuel prices have really gone down. And we are all excited.
Then the other downside of it, which
Ghanaians are benefiting. I tell you, in terms of cost of living, which has, strategically gone down. I often tell people that I own a corner shop. In 2024, when one bag of rice was costing like 170 Ghana cedis, today one bag of rice is costing like 70 Ghana cedis. And so what are we really talking about? This government has brought more to us than we have experienced in the last 8 years. And so really, strategically, I believe that the change of name, well, we might not be seeing the benefits now, but it's even, like we said, it's, a restoration. Something that somebody did. You understand? Because that was the name. That was the Accra International Airport in 1958. And somebody felt that, for being able to overthrow our first president, we should reward the person by naming him after our international airport.
Because there was a background to where they believed that there were some things that were happening in the country at the time what Kotoka Nkrumah was doing that was not shaping the country the way they wanted it to be shaped. Okay. That's why they...
for them, we acknowledge and recognize Kwame Nkrumah as one of our Pan-Africanists.
Absolutely.
In fact, globally, he's one icon that is very well known, that enriches who we are as a people. Can you say same for Kotoka? Can we say same for Kotoka? And so when we're having this conversation, I feel that if we really want to educate the young ones, let's say it's as it is. You understand? Let's tell the truth. I feel, I don't even understand why they didn't decide, that is the policymakers didn't decide to name it the airport after any individual, but to stick to the original name, which is the Accra International Airport, just so it can go with the international code of the ACC. Which is okay. But for us to sit here and say that, look, there are more pressing issues. There have always been pressing issues. We sat here when the MPP had a party and cut the e-levy cake. At the time, what was the dollar rate?
They don't care.
They really went ahead and to cut what e-levy cake. You remember all those? We had issues. We had people being taken away from hospitals for the sake of the no bed syndrome and other related matters. And so if you are saying that this is not an issue that should be addressed now, then when should we address it? Sincerely, if you ask me, I feel that
so the last time
we are on the right track. We are going to continue to promote and project our country, and any name that we feel that empowers us as a people, not a name that divides us as a people, is what we should be looking out for.
The NDC is not doing this because the NPP did a few change of some names that when they came into power, some institutions. Names were changed. Is this not something we're doing to retaliate for what they did?
You see, government will go, government will come. If that at the time MPP felt it prudent to make certain changes, that was absolutely up to the government. But this time around, we are looking at the historical benefits. We are looking at the education that we are passing on to the younger generation. We are looking at restoration and all these factors. in terms of course, I think that in terms of this paperwork is irrelevant. But then looking at really projecting who we are as a people, who our name stands for, when somebody picks our name, when I travel outside the country and then it's announced and a partner or somebody sitting by, oh, who is Kotoka? Or who is, what is the, Accra International Airport? I should be proud and say that, oh, that is the capital city of, Ghana. Accra is the name. And not going back into history and say, oh, the very person who overthrew our first president, the man that we revere so much as our first ever president is the person we named after our airport. I think that it doesn't sit well with us as a people.
Okay, so Frank Dazi, when this conversation came up, actually made an estimation of how much we're likely going to be spending on this.
How
it was
much?
Between $2 million to $5 million.
$2 million to $5 million.
Depending, well,
I think that's an estimate, right?
An estimate of what depending on the scope of how many things will be changing. So depending on maybe, like it's stated, documentation and all of those things, it might either reduce or go up, depending on the scope of what we'll be looking at. So yes, between $2 million and $5 million US dollars for the name change.
She said, well, if I'm sure it will be more. Wait, even if it's like, it will be more.
You wish.
See,
it's going to
even
be less.
getting a logo, right? Yeah. I did graphic design in school. Yeah. So she's saying it's just paper, it's just documentation, it's not paper. This is an international airport that we are talking about. When you land, she's talking about tourism. When you land, the first point of Ghana is Kotoka International Airport, right? We are going to read the now Accra International Airport. We slept and woke up and it's at Accra International Airport. When you're going to redesign these things, a lot of things will go into it. It's not just paper. The design, whoever you're going to contract to create the new design for you is going to charge you. The pay, maybe they already have Kotoka International Airport printed. They have to now start using Accra International, right? So all these things would have to go waste. We haven't taken into consideration how much all those things cost, or those things, the things that they have, they are costing now. And then we are going to create new ones. So she shouldn't just say it's nothing. It's a lot of money. You're going to rebrand the whole international airport and you think it's just you're going to spend peanuts. No, they're going to use a lot of money. So the people should have, if they meant well, they should have let the Ghanaians sit down, let Ghanaians know how much it was going to cost to do this rebranding. But no, like you said, we woke up and we have Accra International. So all Ghanaians have to accept that we are now going to call Kotoka International Airport International Airport. For me, I will still say that these people, she said they changed the name for the NDC. It's something that they wanted to do because people were changing. If they really mean well,
this is political.
Oh yeah, of course. If they really mean well, and then it distracts our history and whatever. There are other places that have been named. They've been named up. Look, let me use Rollins Park. Let me just use Rollins Park as an example. This park has been named after somebody that we know who also did coup d'etat in the country. So should we say all these names, all these places should be changed? That is what I'm asking. If we are saying that our history, you go outside the country and then they're asking you about Kotoka International Airport and then you start narrating a story that, this person overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, it doesn't sit well for the country. Then all these places that have been named after people who we think did something bad in the country should be changed. If that is what they are saying. Maybe
the argument for His Excellency Rawlings will be that we're enjoying democracy because of him.
As much as whatever Kotoka also did brought the country somewhere. If you are telling the history of Ghana, I don't know what happened back there, but there are some people who were also not in tune with what Nkrumah was doing. So to them, maybe it's victory to them. He also did the right thing, if you should ask me. I don't want us to go in there because that's not the main topic. But there are people in this country back then who were not happy with what Dr. Nkrumah was also doing, and they were happy he was overthrown. What would you say about those people? So we shouldn't go the history way. If you want to make that change and then create something for yourself and make money out of it, just go ahead and say it. Don't come and sit here and talk about our history, because there are people who are also in places that have been named after people who people were not happy with. and will not even be happy if things are named after. But we still have those places intact. We haven't changed in anything. So if you are going to go that direction to say, and Kwame Nkrumah, when you go somewhere, somebody will ask you about it, it's even good, because then it helps people to know what happened. When I don't know about Kotoka, to date, I didn't even know what happened to Kotoka. This thing came up, and then I got to know that this and this happened. So it even helps us with history, how we even got here, how Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown or was killed, right? We get to know all these things. Changing it to Accra International doesn't change. Accra is Accra. When you're coming to Ghana, when you buy a ticket and you're coming, the first is Accra, Ghana. You get to know that our capital is Accra, Ghana. You don't have to come and sit in a plane or change Accra International Airport for somebody to know that Accra is the capital town of Ghana. When you are buying the ticket and you're coming to Accra, it's there, right there in your face. Nobody has to explain that to you. But the Kotoka even helps us to understand, like, for somebody to know our history. Exactly, that has a history. Accra is just Accra. We know Accra, and it's there. Nobody you don't have to use any other name. Accra, Ghana is there. You will know that is our capital. So here, sitting here, making is part of our history. It doesn't change anything. It's just to create something for them. Because is it urgent? Is this going to put food on anybody's table? No. It's only going to put food on the tables of the people.
She's speaking about the tourism significance of that and how much it brings to the country. Is that not putting money
it's already bringing Kotoka. Is Kotoka not bringing money to the country? The name Kotoka, is it not bringing money? The tourists not coming. Okay, so are you trying to tell me that tourists are not coming to Ghana because we have Kotoka? Somebody who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, so they wouldn't come. No, the name doesn't change anything. That's why I said this thing is not going to put money on anybody's table. It is going to put money on their table. Those who will make the name, the people they will contract to do whatever change that they want to do will end up getting the money. It doesn't benefit any of us. The ordinary Ghanaian doesn't benefit. So if there are pressing issues in Ghana here currently, that 2 million, let's say they are even going to use 5 million. That 5 million can solve something that is pressing to Ghanaians right now. It can pay the salaries of some. It can pay allowances of nurses crying right now. But we think the NDC, President John Dramani Mahama feels it's important to rename an airport and use all that money to rebrand the airport, whilst nurses are crying, teachers are crying, farmers are crying. I'm not saying it's not important, but the timing is very wrong. People are out there picketing around the cocoa board, asking for their monies. Farmers, old people, 60 to 70s are farming a whole year just to get something. You give them a haircut, and then you think at this time it's important to rename an airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra. The farmers are not even angry enough. They are not angry enough. That is what I'm saying. So the change doesn't do anything to anybody. Yes, tourism is good. They could have done it. I'm not saying they shouldn't change it, but the timing that they are doing this thing is wrong, and the money that they are going to put in can be used to do something else. Kotoka International Airport, Accra International Airport, like I said, doesn't put food on anybody's table except for them. The people are going to make the change. Whoever they are going to contract to do the changes, they are the ones that are going to benefit. Continue for me.
Let me just try and add a little to what she has said.
Yeah.
I appreciate the way she has taken her time to explain the cost involved, because I believe sincerely that it's the MPP that has the right data in terms of cost when it comes to rebranding.
I haven't given any data.
No, you are just talking about how much it's going to cost us. And I appreciate
this. Is not
I actually appreciate that, because during from 2000, from 2017.
I want to correct something.
From 2017 to 2024. Do you know how many institutions that were
Let me clarify this. So there was an aspect cost.
Yes, please.
By the executive director of Association of Advertisers.
She talked about her background in branding.
But that is
the graphic aspect of it.
That's what I'm saying. That is the MPP. Because you know what? From 2017 to 2024, do you know the number of institutions that were changed?
So the MPP has done it. You that are going to do a research also wants to.
You understand? So I appreciate the fact that if now they are seeing that there's so much cost that goes into. For the first time, in fact, the NDC, this is the first name change that the NDC has done.
Why are you not in this country?
Yes.
The university things that have been changed, they are not part of it.
No, please, let me
universities have been changed.
When you spoke about the political gain, like I said, His Excellency, the President of Ghana and Parliament, the majority, of course, could have chosen to name our international airport after any, a very refined, diplomatic NDC person. But they said, no, let's go back to the basis. Let's go back to who we are or what the airport was. And so where lies the political gain?
So this is genuine concern about the person occupying that position.
That is a genuine concern. We found that, look, let me tell you something. If my sister is talking about the financial cost, do you know what we lost as a country in the last, from...
How much did we lose?
Yes, from 1966, during the coup d'etat, after the instability of this country for over 30 years. If today tourism is bringing in over 4.8 billion, do you know how much we have lost? And so I think that we should just do ourselves some good. You understand? It depicts, it tells our story, it tells who we are. We should just do ourselves some good by not unnecessarily promoting and projecting things that are not good for our image. And so if the government of today feels, in fact, you know what, as I sit here, if the NDC doesn't do anything but just change that name, I am satisfied. Because I am not a divisive person. I don't like issues. I enjoy our democracy. I am here today because I have the privilege and opportunity to express my views. You understand? And I think that if we are moving away from that era of dictatorship, that era of instability, that era of coup d'etat, then we should go along with some of these things instead of just pick and choose. I feel that we have come a long way. We are promoting Ghana. And so if, in terms of course, if the MPP did not solve all the problems and they were still rebranding and changing names, then changing one name that will tell the story of who we are. And we didn't name it after any political figure. We decided to go and restore what the international airport was. Then I think that it is good for all of us as a country.
Okay, so this looks like no political gain for anybody. I don't know about what you think about that, because
no. You see, I said it here that it's for political gain. It's not like she's saying what she's saying. I am saying what I'm saying.
Okay, so you still insist that it's for political gain?
Yes, I still stand by whatever. Exactly, I still stand by.
How much did the MPP gain?
How much did you should? No, I think you should have.
How much did you change?
You said
when you changed,
you should have given us the cost. No, you should have given us the cost.
You did branding and design. So tell us.
She sat here and said nobody. When since the NDC came, they haven't changed any names. Are we not in Ghana? How many universities has changed their names? A lot of them. Did I mention
I have
it?
Your list, though.
No, you have. I also have your list. You came and you changed.
So if it's about
so give me the list. I want her to give me the list.
University of Energy and Natural Resources.
I want her to give me the
K.A. Buzia University of Energy. Then we have the UDS renamed to what? Simon Dombo University. Then Navrongo Campus renamed. You can name more. No.
UDS University changed to Simon. Then you changed it.
It was.
When was it?
Was. You know about that.
When was that?
You know about that.
Let me just say something.
You know about that.
She sat here and said, since the NDC came, they haven't changed anything, which is a lie, and you know it. It is a big lie. Because they've made changes. But this is an international airport.
We are talking about the airport.
Yes, the airport is an
because of the significance of the airport.
That is because their names, you shouldn't bring it because they change names. So you
no, they all come with cost.
The NDC.
My brother.
No, as for that one, we can't rule it out.
Let me finish.
Whether MPP or NDC, we can't rule out the cost.
Because in her argument, it has all been about the cost. And I'm saying that irrespective of what, it's all has to do with I was giving you.
Okay, no, I can't.
She did interject.
No,
she did interject.
Okay, so Betty, let her finish. Let her finish, and then I'll come back. Then you speak on the issue of the cost.
You asked me if I still stand. I still stand by it that, look, the country is going through a lot. That's what I would say.
So it's not about the worry about the cost.
Exactly. The timing, people were saying that this is not the right time. I'm not the only one saying it. There were a lot of people out there saying that the timing is wrong. If the government was even sensitive to the issues that's currently going on, they wouldn't even sit down and then rename in the midst of everything. This past week, from 2 weeks ago, you know what has been happening in the country. This is not the right time for you to come and make a name change. That is what I am saying. I am not against our history. If they want to change it, they have even changed it. So what? Exactly what? Because they do not care. They are insensitive to the issue, to the plight of Ghanaians. Since there are people, I'm sure there are people still there at the cocoa board crying for their monies. People are still on social media trying to get the attention of the government to even change the 2,500 haircut they've given them, to bring it back to the 3,100 where Nana Akufo-Addo left them. You don't you think?
Well, they also increased it when they came.
Listen, don't
before
you
the
think?
reduction.
That's what I'm saying.
They will have that argument as well.
My argument is, don't you think it is better to listen to these people? Make sure tempers are calm. They have like some kind of solution to this before going ahead to name something which is not important to anybody at this time. It is because you want to satisfy whatever you want to do. You want to satisfy yourself. Whatever gains that you know you're going to gain, it's up to you. You know it because you didn't even come out to tell Ghanaians that when we do the name change, this and this, there's no clear what direction as to how the change is going to be, like how much you're going to spend to make the change. Do you have any data like that? No. You are just mentioning a figure from what you heard from an expert. But nobody, whoever, the people who they put on the board to do this thing has not come out. There's no document. There's nothing. They just think we can get up and do whatever. We don't care about Ghanaians. Well, if they are crying, they should cry. This is not our matter. It's Cocoa Board matter. This is not the transport. No.
The NPP do say.
The NPP did say
when we're doing some of the
so this is when we have a discussion like this. This is something that we shouldn't even be comparing. We were in this country in 2024 when these people, the NDC came out to tell Ghanaians that they are going to reset the country with new ideas, new ideas. So
that's where your argument is coming from.
So if you come back and every time we point something to you, you are trying to draw us back to the NPP did this, then I'm telling you, you are not resetting anything in this country. We are the standard. So you are looking at what we did to do whatever you want to do. If you want to be the standard, do things correctly. Let Ghanaians feel like these people are different. You are not different if you think that you're going to look at what the NPP. So anytime we tell you this is wrong, timing is wrong, oh, the NPP did this, the NPP did that, then I always sit out. This is the second time I'm seeing the resets that they are telling Ghanaians they're going to, it's bogus. There's nothing, it's meaningless. If every time we are trying to point something out to you, you keep referring us back to, and these people named, these people did this, it is bogus. You are clueless of whatever research you are trying to do in this country. And they've reset the cocoa farmers, what do we call it, monies right now, to zero. Please, cocoa farmers are crying that bring their monies back to, if you won't even add anything to it, the 7,000 cedis that you promised them, if you're not going to give it to them, please take them back to where Nana Akufo-Addo left them, because they've already made their projections already. They've made everything. They've planned their year ahead. Your bad calculations has led the country into this mess. Don't now change the focus to changing the airport. How does this name change? How does you, as a president, how does this name change benefit you in any way? Maybe you have an auntie or an uncle in your hometown into cocoa farming. So whatever change they make there can affect the life of your uncle or your auntie or somebody over there. But this name change from Accra International Airport to Kotoka to Accra, it will benefit them. The people are going to make the change. They are going to benefit from whatever change they are trying to do. There are no clear, move us to what they are going to do. No, we are clueless. We don't even know what goes into the name change. Nothing. They don't care. They'll just wake up and tell Ghanaians we have changed Kotoka to Accra, and Ghanaians will just keep quiet because they are in power. They are in power. Can you imagine? No sensitivity, nothing. They don't care about Ghanaians. They care about themselves. This is what we want to do, and we are going to do it. And we woke up and they have done it.
All right. Let me say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise and Core Natural Fruit Juice. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by these brands. Now, your messages, you can send them to us on our WhatsApp line. It's active. You can also send us your messages on Facebook. We're streaming live on Facebook. I would have time and read some of your messages before. Maybe we'll go on the next topic. Let's see if we can wrap up on this one. Betty, you wanted to say something before. So say it quickly and then let's wrap up.
So thank you.
Messages and then we'll look at the GS issue.
When I received your message, the topic of the day was for us to discuss the name change from Kotoka to Accra International Airport and to also look at issues concerning school sports. And unfortunately for us, the subject has been reduced to cocoa farmers and
it has not been reduced, it has been upgraded.
You know, I'll tell you something.
It has been upgraded.
We have various...
Grace,
now you can appreciate where I was coming from.
That's okay.
Yes, she will not interject you, so let it.
You know, we have various sectors of the economy, and that's we have to be looking at. And so when we came to this table, we decided to choose or focus on a particular area and want to look at whether it benefits us as a country, why the need. And I've brought up the issue of, you know, the stability that we are enjoying. I've brought up the issue of education, telling our story as it is. And the issue of really being able to inspire our younger generation on rights and not what is wrong. And I think that should be the focus of our conversation. If we want to divert into the other areas of the economy, then please give me your platform and let me also trumpet and, you know, tell more about the...
But you'd agree that these conversations delve into some of these things.
But I'll tell you what, if we really want to talk about the other sectors of the economy that are doing so well, of course, if we are resetting, we cannot reset with nothing. We have to reset from somewhere. The government of today is telling us that the name Kotoka doesn't tell who we are. And so for us to reset, we are going back to the original name of where we are coming from. And I absolutely, like I earlier on stated, if this is all that His Excellency achieves, I am for it. Because I have had the privilege of traveling and I've seen how difficult it is for us to, for me as a person, as a Democrat, to even explain and throw light why we would decide to brand or name our international airport against somebody who actually worked and did everything against this country. Again, I feel that in terms of economy, today we are enjoying the stability that we're talking about. Look at the dollar to cedi rate today. Coming all the way from 17 cedis to $1 to today 11 cedis to $1. Are we not excited about it? You and I can go to the market. The cost of living has reduced and we are all enjoying. So if you are talking about economic issues and you are only concerned about cocoa farmers, of course they are also within the system. And they are enjoying the cost of living that has gone down. They are enjoying the cost of fuel that has gone down. And the prudent spending that today, through the strategic management of our dear Honorable Atufosi, the Minister for Finance, we are able to settle the voluminous debt that was left by the previous or the SOR administration. And so I don't want us to go there because that was not the reason for us coming here. I feel that strategically the government is resetting. They are on the right path.
And this is part of the...
It is part of the resetting agenda. They feel that, look, there is no way for us, there's no need. You know, I stated, at a time, President Kufuor felt that in order to unify us as a country, the National Reconciliation Commission was necessary to bring Ghanaians together. This is a government that feels that the name Kotoka, in one way or the other, divides us. Otherwise, you and I should not even be having this conversation at all. They did not bring any name that would seem to divide us. But then let's go for our regional capital and our national capital and name it after our national airport. That should find a way of bringing us together as a people. And I think that is a fantastic idea that we should all applaud the government for taking some of these bold and prudent decisions.
Okay, so our next conversation will be on the GES letter that expresses a very deep concern about the developments, the violence that happened in the central region. In fact, they've put on hold, and I'm sure, Betty, you should be very worried about this because of where you are. This was as a result of interzonals that brought us where we are right now with these students. And being at the ministry, I'm sure this should be a very serious worry for you. But let me read some of the messages that have been sent to us, and then we'll get back into it. This one says, my name is Kwesi. The name Kotoka International Airport should have been changed long time ago. To me, Kotoka has been a traitor for overthrowing Kwame Nkrumah because he did it for the Americans and not Ghanaians. Okay, let me go to this one. This one says, while Accra International Airport is acceptable, a far more fitting and inspiring option would be Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. If we are truly committed to honoring Ghana's history and identity, then it makes greater sense to immortalize the man who led this nation to independence rather than settle for a neutral label. Daniel Akaliok from Sandema sent in this one. This one says, good morning, Mr. Ho. Sometimes when I hear NPP communicators talking, I laugh. Is the NPP lady in your studio serious at all? What is she talking about? Was she really in this country when Akosua Amoabeng was renaming all the institutions in the country? Please, she should give us a break. Greetings to Honorable Betty, Chairman Alabode Williams in Nima. Okay, so that's Grace Martin you're talking about. This one over here, let me see what he has for us. It says, Dear KMJ, last week you did read messages even though lawyer Jantua was eager to hear the messages read. Please, my message may not be on your agenda this morning, but please help. I'm doing that. There's mining going on under the guise of licensed small-scale mining in the Merua Forest Reserve in the Bibiani, Bekwai, which I have time without number hammered on, but no action from NIMOS. Meanwhile, I am in support of our airport being renamed. Good morning, Charles the Champon in Sefshi Humjebre in the Western North region. I am dealing with this issue for you. You see that the thing about NIMOS and what is, before them, it's a serious issue. And so they're trying as much as possible to deal with all of them one after the others. I've constantly been speaking to the PRO about this issue, and he's promised me that he's going to ensure that it is taken care of. So yes, I'm glad that you keep bringing it up, but I'm also doing something about it. So let's see how it goes. Good morning. Kindly inform the NPP representative that what Honorable Betty is saying is the truth. The NDC has not changed the name of any university. It has only restored the institution to its original name. John Atanga and Afram Plain sent in that one. Let me go to Nana Ekuyamwa. It says, good morning, KMJ. I must commend Grace Akosua is making a very important submission, and the NDC rep in your studio should not just play politics with it. Cocoa farmers are crying over Mohammed's beautiful haircut, and the men in power are not interested, but rather majoring on the minors. There's a fire on the mountain, and you are there dancing to Ethiopia. Okay, I was sent in that one. Let me check this one. It says, good morning, KMJ. Let's kindly debunk the assertion that UDS has ever been changed. The lady should get the facts right before coming in onto the show, as yours discerning minds are watching, and these blatant lies must be stopped. She must go back and get her facts right. UDS is still intact. So the university has always been, and kindly tell her to read more history on Kotoka. She seems to be ignorant on a lot of issues. Thank you. This issue about Kotoka and the history of Kotoka, I usually don't want to get in there because I've seen what the argument of Paul Admoche and Kokubaku on this Kotoka thing, and trust me, there's a lot more we have to know about Kotoka than what we are sitting here talking about. Seriously. Sami Buachi says the administration led by Mahama has constantly demonstrated ineptitude and rhetoric, prioritizing name changes over substantive issues that affect the populace, such as increasing electricity and water bills. Meanwhile, cocoa farmers are suffering due to drastic reduction in cocoa prices, and teachers and nurses are protesting against unpaid salaries. It seems Ghanaians are to blame for voting for such doomsday leadership back to power. The 2028 is looking promising for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Regards to Samuel Osei. Okay, let me do maybe one more and then we'll get back to the conversation. Hadi in Payfarm says, I want to know from the NPP woman how much it costs to change the names of the 4 universities during their time. These nagging people party think they are more Ghanaians than others. They have the right to change the names of our 4 universities universities, that the great NDC don't have the right to do same. Is she telling Ghanaians that they changed the name of the 4 universities because of no curfew? And she talks about cocoa farmers, which of these people they paid to come and demonstrate would buy a prudent and high price if they know selling it would be far less than the price they bought it. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is very much on course and focused in executing the reset agenda and is paying no attention to all the ugly noise that has been made by the NPP. I'll make time and read more of your messages a bit later, but let's get on to the next conversation and probably we'll come back to most of your messages. GES has suspended every inter-school activity in the central region. Betty, you should be very worried about this.
Okay, I think that violence in our sports has been ongoing for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it is something that, as a people, we should all voice up against. Sports is supposed to, unite us, entertain us, build our wellness for social cohesion, for youth development, and what have you. And so when you look at all this focus and we want to taint it with some level of violence, I think that it says an issue of concern that we should all, using your platform and another platform, condemn it in totality to see how together we can project our sports. Again, when I read about the incidents that happened in the central region, I was really saddened by it, that young people that we have sent out there to study, to empower themselves for their future good, decided to, belittle themselves to lower their standards to the level of violence. And I feel that, unfortunately, they didn't use any other platform than sports. And I think it's rather unfortunate. We should condemn it and then use this opportunity. I know the Ghana Police Service is doing their best, but we are calling on the authorities, the school authorities, the sports authorities, the Ghana Police Service to do their best. It doesn't end with just, punishing these few people that have conducted themselves in this negativity. However, we should also continue to lead by doing a number of awareness creation, the purpose and the essence of sports in its totality, so that at least people will begin to understand the benefit of sports. Like you rightly said, the reset agenda is on. And through that, we realize that violence has been associated with our sports for a very long time. We're looking at the issues that lead to the violence with our sports, and we're trying to find ways and means to curtail it. Yesterday, I happened to be at the Alajo community AstroTurf to observe some of our school sports. And indeed, I realized that there were a number of issues that are of concern. Of course, I know the previous administration tried their best by establishing a number of AstroTurfs to promote our sports. But I came with 1 or 2 challenges that I feel that we should all look at. Because when school children are left to that kind of open space, without proper supervision, I think that it goes a long way to also bring some of this indiscipline on our campuses and our communities. And so it's an area that needs to be looked at. Yesterday, if you had opportunity to listen to the President's Economic Forum, you realize that he did throw a bit light on the establishment of the National Sports Fund to see how best we can mobilize enough funding so that all the things that are challenge in terms of our infrastructure development, in terms of talent development, we'll be able to work on it. And so in the 2026 budget allocation, in fact, a huge sums of money have been allocated for infrastructure development, of which this year we are looking at developing and extending about 6 football stadia so that we will promote sports in general. Because with the community AstroTurf that were developed, you realize that there were no even proper public stands where these fans can easily, comfortably sit and enjoy the game. Again, when you want to properly organize them, they were all over. Some of them were standing on the streets. Some of them were, harboring on other people's pavements in order to see the game. And so it becomes a little bit uncontrollable for the authorities that be to bring them together to ensure that proper supervisions are made. I want to also use this platform to state that the authorities should also look at involving the Ghana Police Service, that is the Ghana Education Service, anytime there are some of those inter.
It's one of the questions that I was asking, that where were the police at the time?
The police were not present. In fact, yesterday when I observed, the police were not present.
There's always been clash. There's always been clash.
I think that it is an area that needs to be looked at, and then we should also not leave sports to, to be an afterthought. It looks like that is what it has been. And currently at the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, what we have as part of the research agenda is to establish a national school sports program where we have a directorate in charge that will be seeing to some of these things to ensure that, especially at our school level, the violence is reduced or even eradicated in totality.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. That's Betty. Let me move on to Grace. Grace.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I saw this video yesterday in the morning.
Very heartbreaking video. I couldn't watch it all.
I couldn't watch it, but it's sad. Because if this is your child, you are watching a video of your child being beaten like this, how would you as a parent feel? And I think I listened to the boy, the interview he had with one of the TV stations, and the boy said he was just minding his business. He's going to look for a place to put, I think, medicine on his eye. And I think because they were having, there was a clash between the two schools, they felt he was like the victim, the best person to attack at that point. So this boy didn't harm anybody, they didn't do anything to anybody, but then was just attacked because they went for an inter-schools competition and their school lost. Which is, I think, is wrong, it's absurd. We have to educate our children in the schools. I think my school like this, they didn't used to open it up for all the students to attend. They used to select the people who were more into sports. So the sports ladies, it was a girls' school. I went to Fantiman Girls. So we used to have people who were doing the sporting activities. They put them in a bus and they take them for inter-schools. They never used to allow all of us to go to the inter-schools competition. So I think these are some of the schools can also look at some of these things. Security is very important. They should provide security when these kind of games are coming up. And the schools should look at different ways to do this, because if there are inter-schools and then a number of people, sometimes they go in turns. Maybe this time, this particular time, maybe Form 1s will go this time, so that it doesn't they are not overburdened with so many people at the place, and it gets uncontrollable if there are so many people and you can't do anything about these things. Will happen if these things are not checked. So I think going forward, the schools should look at ways of making things better for themselves and for the students, because this boy could have died. They were throwing blocks, stones, could have hit his head, and then that's it. We wouldn't see the person anymore. Parents will be in their house thinking about themselves, then they will receive a phone call that their ward is dead because he went for inter-schools. Inter-schools supposed to be fun, supposed to be engaging. You meet other schools and then you engage and make friends, and then, I mean, it's a competition. Someone will win, someone will lose. You can draw anyway. But it shouldn't bring us to this point where we see young people, teenagers, they are still teenagers, being this violent, throwing stones, hitting, stepping on the necks and heads of your own mate. It's very bad for your own friend, your mate in class, who can be your classmate, to beat you in this manner. It's very bad. So the schools should look at it. There should be a way that I think they shouldn't allow, for me, I like the system in my school, they shouldn't allow everybody, because when there are so many people, all these things can happen, and even if there are security men around, they will not be able to control the crowd. So they should put in some measures to see how best they can limit some of these things, so that we don't have things like this happening. When you were talking, I think I heard you said it happens almost every time.
Yeah, I mean, this
2023, 2024, I think I saw students chasing other students with machetes in Accra here. which is very
It's just by video coming on social media that we get to know most of these things, but on the daily, these things happen.
It's bad. I think there should be, GS should find a way to control this inter-schools, because if we are having this year on every time, if we are having these incidents coming up every time we have inter-schools or all these things, somebody can just die. I mean, and it wouldn't be good for the country or for the parents or for the school. So they should find a way around it. Try and put measures in place to see how best they can, organize these inter-schools and all that to stop some of these things. Because our students are getting rowdy. Parents are not, And
there's another conversation around this, which also is about what students or these kids are learning from school and whether they are getting the kind of punishment that they're supposed to be getting for behaving in such situations like we've seen. So, for example, if a child will behave a certain way out, it will start from home. It will start from where the child is. So if the child is in school and is not getting the right punishment for the wrong things he's doing, this is how the person ends up when the person steps out. So how do we solve that problem?
This is
because these days you hardly even beat a child in school.
Parental.
Because whatever they are learning in school is what they take outside.
We have different. We are all coming from different backgrounds. Maybe the way I'll treat my kids will be different from the way she will treat her kids. So it all boils down to parents having time to train their wards before taking them to the secondary schools. There are some people who are bullied in secondary schools because maybe their parents have taught them to be gentlemen, or so when they go to school, these people are just rowdy, will just attack them. So it all boils down to parents. And then it's very difficult to tell a parent how to train their children. I don't know. Some people are coming from Christian homes. Some people are coming from Muslim homes. Others are coming from
deal with situations
differently. People have different ways of reacting to situations. So it will be very difficult at this point to tell parents how to raise their kids. We all pray and advise parents that they should try and bring their kids well. They should bring them up well. But if they go into the schools, my children meeting her children, we've trained our children in different ways, so it will depend on how we both of them will react in different. But I think the school should rather put their feet down when it comes to these things, because in the school there are rules and regulations. So everybody, no matter where you are coming from, should be able to follow the rules and regulations of the school. Because if we are going back to parenting, it will be very difficult. So the central point is the school. So I think the school should instill some of these, the discipline should be in the schools. And now I think even teachers are afraid to punish.
Some are asking that we bring that back.
Where 5 or 6 children beat up a teacher one after school. And I think they were arrested. They were sent to, I don't know where. They were sent to juvenile detention. I think that was this year. So we should bring back the system so that the students will know that anytime you attack somebody, you're not going to go scot-free. The police will come in and arrest you. If the teachers are not going to, because I think that
3 of them have been arrested. We are not too sure what the progress is right now. But
the teachers are scared. I'm telling you, there are teachers who are in the schools scared to even tell someone that sit down, keep quiet. They always go, it's your life. If this is what you want to do, do it. But I think that if we cannot stop, we can't talk about people coming from different backgrounds, then we should be on the schools to make sure that they make sure the children, the students that are put in their care, follow the rules and regulations in the school. So we have to empower the teachers. We have to empower the schools. GS should empower the schools. I don't know how they are going to do it, but they should empower the schools so that they will put these things in order. Because it's wrong to see something like this happening in our schools. It's like they've caught a thief and they are beating.
I am even thinking about if you're a parent of this, one of the boys who was jumping and stepping on the guy.
Hey, they will.
Like, if you're a parent of that child, what will be running through your mind? Like, is this the child I brought up?
So, I think sincerely that it goes a long way for us to appreciate the relationship or the the benefit of the Parent-Teacher Association. That is the PTA.
Yeah.
Because that is the platform where teachers and parents are able to come together and set certain standards that helps in the development of the child or the well-being of the child. And so I think it's an area that we need to look at, how to promote this very association, empower them to go all out there to organize. Human beings generally, I believe, we act or we react differently when we are provoked. What works or what seems to tame all of us are the structures, the rules and regulations that prevails. And so we just need to make sure that our rules are set and then the guidance are given out there. So when all these things are put together, I believe sincerely that it will go a long way to nurture the upbringing of a child. However, it also beholds on the government to also play its role. And as I sit as the advisor to the Minister for Sports, one thing I do know is that we have established the school sports and the National Recreation Program. Now, as Grace initially stated, that probably we should limit the sports to the talents that are going out there to explore in their various disciplines. I feel that is how the recreational aspect of sports also comes.
Yeah.
So the focus generally, I feel that if we have a well-developed stadium which can accommodate all these people, and then sports is considered as a core part of academics, not just as an afterthought, then we will be willing to invest in. With the recreational aspect, it's not the competitive, talent kind of sports. But then it's an area that brings everybody involved. We have other activities, sometimes promoting our traditional games like the Ludu, the Owari, and things like that. It's also a way of, rehabilitating our children, giving them that opportunity to blend and get to know each other. But without the right, platform, I'm talking in terms of the infrastructure, then we cannot implement some of these things. Again, when I talked about Alaju, one of the challenges I realized was that even PA systems were not available. And so when there's a route or, a situation happening, how is the supervisor or the teacher able to scream on top of his voice or her voice to get everybody's attention? And so we investing in our school sports it's very key and it's very important. So that at least at the end of the day, yesterday I had the platform, I had the privilege to also speak to the children. But because of the lack of this kind of, systems, we couldn't reach out to the children. And so all that they had to do was just go and observe the game and go back. And so I asked myself, what have they learned?
The information that is supposed to pass
we also agreed that, children being active goes a long way to promote their intellectuals. And so if we are able to get everybody by strategically bringing out other forms of sporting activities to get everybody involved, not just a few, everybody involved, we should be willing and ready to invest in it so that at least we will take their mind off the unnecessary situations. Again, there's another area that I feel we are lacking, the education of the rule of law in our country. I think it's another area that we haven't spent our time, that when you do this A, B, C, D, these are the repercussions. You have, the tendency of going to jail. You have the tendency of losing the opportunity to further your education and things like that. These are things that should be, should be factored in our curriculum so that the children will be taught the proper way of behaving within a society. You get my point? So that at least they know the repercussions of some of their activities. Because sometimes I have a son who is 22 years old, and I keep hammering it in his ears that when you want to have sex with a woman and the woman says no, leave her. I don't think these are things that are directly taught in schools. They don't know that it's even against the law, because sometimes we experience it in our homes when the wife wife or the mother say, no, but the husband feels that I should have my
Exactly.
way. But if we are deliberately, we should be deliberate about some of these decisions, teaching our girl child, teaching our boy child that, look, these are the rules, these are the laws, and these are the ways we enforce them. And so you make sure that you don't go against the rule. I think it will go a long way. So basically, education is important. Secondly, the investment in our infrastructure. And when we talk about sports, it should not just be an afterthought, like a break. We should actually inculcate it, make it a part of our curriculum such that it will be taken seriously. Whilst we are harnessing talent, we are also seeing it as an aspect of promoting our health, our well-being, and what have you. By so doing, I think children or our young people will grow up, to get the benefit of it. Again, we observe that at the Ministry of Sports, we observe that attendance at the stadium has really gone down, unless, of course, it's a major tournament. Sometimes we eventually have to even beg people to come out in their numbers. But we believe strongly that it's as a result of some of this violence that
people are scared to go.
People are scared because which parent in their right sense will want to take their younger child to the stadium when they know that issues of May knife is probably going to happen? Because if we have our children that we are nurturing today involved in some of these activities, then you must be scared. But if we're putting down the necessary measures to curtail some of these behaviors, I believe sincerely that it will go a long way to kind of, create the awareness, the sanctions. And then, because I realized that, is it in Koforidua also, a number of 2 schools have been sanctioned from participating in some of this inter-school sports for a minimum of 2 years. I think these sanctions should be dropped from teachers to students, from school authorities to the students, that, look, if you misbehave, we have the tendency of being banned from engaging in some of these activities. This kind of awareness creation will, psychologically, have an impact on them such that when they go out there and everything that they do, they will be pre-informed on their behaviors.
Very well, thank you very much. By way of updates, the Commissioner of Police, COP Lydia Yakudonko, she's the Director General of Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service, also made a visit. We've got a video for you to take a look at. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversation.
That's why I wanted to start by saying, are you confirming that is your shirt or your uniform? Somebody has worn your uniform to create such a scene or to conduct himself in such a manner. It is giving your school a bad name. So I'm sure you are concerned that that is your school shirt. That's because I wanted you to confirm that is your school shirt. So if that is your school shirt and somebody has worn it and is attacking a fellow human being in such a manner, as a school, you should be concerned to find out who are the people behind that shirt wearing it. Not so, to hand them over to the police. So I am mentioning now that I am giving you 24 hours to produce the people in that shirt who attacked the boy. In 24 hours starts now. Because as law enforcement, when incidents of this nature occur, and we have to investigate, we have to arrest. We have a number of ways in which we can make that arrest. But because this is a school environment, we are not going to adopt one of those means. That is why I'm giving you as school authorities that task to produce them. And if you fail to produce them, the means by which law enforcement employs to fish out suspects, we are going.
Thank you, Norman.
That is your shirt they are wearing. So if somebody is wearing your shirt, that's why I wanted to start by saying, are you confirming that is your shirt or your uniform? Somebody has worn your uniform.
All right. That's the CID boss over there, giving them 24 hours to produce the students that were in those uniforms. And it's interesting. It's interesting. There's other videos that you see them running around, throwing at each other, apart from the one that we saw, which was very close. There were other videos. There are other videos that were running around and throwing stones at each other. And you'd be asking yourself, then what? Like, how do we solve a problem like this? It's like they intentionally knew what they were doing. they were fighting each other. One set is on the other side, the other is at the other side, and they were exchanging stones. I'm like, okay.
So that's what they do.
Exactly, and some were running away from to seek for refuge. I'm like, how is this?
How did we get here?
It's crazy.
Does it happen in all the schools?
So that's the question I want to ask now, because I'm imagining in the western region, in the northern region, and other places like that, because it doesn't just happen in central region.
It happened in the eastern region.
Yes, there are other schools that also do the interzonals and all that. It's not just the central region.
Throw the stones and all that. Like, is it like a tradition?
I think in the eastern region,
well, if you
stabbed.
Yeah.
Yes. Because if you lose, you get angry. But how are we making sure that students get to know that losing is part of life?
No, but if you lose a football match, do you have to stab your opponent? Because they watch, I'm sure we watch this English Premier League on TV every time. So that do they? And
fans of Arsenal would have been stabbing everybody in this country.
Do you get it? I think we should have some kind of education, because if you are so much into this English Premier League, you see, even after they lose, they hug and all that. Why do you have to now? Even you see the spectators in the stadium, they do not go about stabbing people and killing people. So how do you now go for an inter-schools competition and you want to kill your mates because you lost? I mean, actually, we should educate, like you said, we should educate them. We should have that in school. We should, before even going out, the teachers, the headmasters and mistresses should make sure they educate their students before.
Yeah, I think it starts right from the school.
Yes, really. Before putting them out there, because it doesn't make sense that I would go to a park, lose a game, and then start throwing stones at my opponent. We are not at war. We are not going for a war. We are just going for games. You are supposed to network, meet your friends. I'm sure your friends are in the other school, so maybe sometimes this is the best time for you to meet your friends and then have some kind of chit-chat with them. I never went for intercall anyway, but then I know it was fun. But when they come back, the stories about, they buy food, they bring it to the school, because they've gone out. We were not going out. So it's for me, I was struggling to understand why
it could turn into what we're looking at.
Because I was in the central region too. But then when they come back, they don't report this kind of attitude or this kind of thing happening when they come back to the school. I know it was all fun. They get to meet their friends and all that. So I think we are moving. The world is changing. If the children are doing this, if they're having this kind of mindset, because I think if they are happy exchanging stones and all that, then it means when they are going out there, they prepare because they feel like
anything can
this
just
is
happen,
going to happen.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't go out with that mentality. So like you said, it should start from the school.
Yeah.
If they are taking everybody out, if maybe today is inter schools and everybody, before they go out, they should sit down and educate all the people, try and speak with them before going out, because this can't be happening. You send your ward to school just to go and study for a better future, and then he comes
I just take interest in a bit of sports, and this happens to me. So I'm
home, and then this is happening.
Yeah.
And I think that some schools, like I said, they should look at some of the structures and change them. People, when I was talking, I said they take people. It's not just the sports. So they take a number of them too. So if the school is 1,000, all the 1,000 students are not going. So maybe they'll take about 100 or 200 people to go. It helps. You can manage the students going for the sports, because some people don't go and do anything. They just go and roam about. They don't even sit in the stadium. So the schools should look at some of these things. If you feel your school, this will not, taking everybody out is not going to help the school. Because now the CID is talking to the headmaster. If anything happens to your students, you, the headmaster or the headmistress, will be held responsible.
Yeah, and I'm happy they've given them 24 hours.
You're supposed to exactly.
You can't tell me you don't know the student wearing this.
You're supposed to manage them. You're supposed to manage them. You're supposed to protect them too. Because every parent, if my child is coming to school, I'm not in the room or in their dormitories with them. I'm leaving them in your care. So if something should happen to my ward, I will come to you, the headmaster or the headmistress, to ask you. So if you want to be a responsible headmaster or headmistress, you should find ways of curbing some of these things. You can manage them, because if anything happens to them, you'll be held responsible. So the schools should look at the system that they can put in place to help their students. For my school, like, I don't know if it has changed, but when I was in school, we were all not allowed to go for inter-schools. The sports people were constantly going, and then they added some students to them to take them to inter-schools. To support, because yes, they need the support.
Yeah.
But they always come back happy. We don't come back with all these stories. So the schools should also take into consideration, because if something should happen to my ward, I'm definitely coming for you, the headmaster or the headmistress. Exactly.
and we'll be wrapping up, but you see, the problem here is this. The guy who is the victim of this guy right now, if he hears anything sports moving forward,
I don't think he would. And he was innocent. So, he was not part of the people throwing the stones. He was just going to put medicine on his eyes. He has, and you can see he has an issue with the eye.
Yep.
So he was just going to take his medication. And then, because I'm in this school, you are stoning me. Yeah, you want to kill
me. You never come anywhere close to any football game.
Right.
If you tell me, let's go to the stadium, he said, no. This is what happens if they lose, they're going to beat me up in the stadium. And we are still asking people to go to the stadium and watch.
I know, right? I know. So, KM, you started by comparing with the European League and the other Spanish games and things like that. Trust me, the people out there are no better than us. But what really works happens to be the rules and regulations.
The control, the oversight of it.
The sanctions. So if you go and misconduct yourself at the stadium, at the end of the day, the FIFA sanction will be applied to your club, even if not the individual. And so this serves as a deterrent to people who want to misconduct themselves. And so I feel that the time has come for us to establish this kind of regulations and rules in our school sports, so that it serves as a deterrent to those people.
Because it's always been the leagues, but we're not focusing on the school sports.
Yes, and but I think the time has come. The time has come. The time is now for us to deliberate on it, the way forward, to really make sure that there is proper discipline where we talk about our sports, and to get, because the whole idea of government is to get a lot of people active, to get people engaged, to get people doing sports. And so if these are the outcome effects, then of course nobody will be attracted to sports. So I think the time has come for us to set the rules and regulations very clear. I feel that even with schools or school students from particular schools that are found in this kind of situation, probably government can withdraw some sort of government subventions to the school.
Yes.
And that,
so you feel it.
That will make the school do the needful, by going ahead with the necessary awareness creation, the orientation, to properly guide them that, look, when you do this and you do that, these are the repercussions or the challenges or the sanctions that the schools suffer. And so we are not going to encourage that. So I think that the people out there are no different. It's just the rules, and they make sure that the rules are implemented to its core. And so when we set our rules, I'm actually calling on the Ghana Education Service, where I sit the management of the school sports program, to come together and work with the NSA, that is the National Sports Authority, to come out and find a way to regularize some of these activities and make sure that proper rules are set out there to guide our games. Otherwise, we cannot continue to have it this way. It's long overdue, and I feel that sports is supposed to unite us more than to divide us. It's supposed to entertain us than to create that fear in us. So the time is now for us to put up the necessary regulations to guide our games.
Yeah, because interestingly, the question I've been asking myself is, how do these people even understand sporting activities in school? You understand, even how you understand it as a student would even want you to go and do these things or not. Because if you feel like it's one of those things that will go, and when I lose, I get angry and fight somebody, that will be the thing you'll be doing throughout. But if you see it as unity and peace and love, your attitude towards it will change. When you lose, you even go and hug your fellow friend and say, Charlie, it's just a matter of game.
Right.
You understand? So there's too much education that has to be done with regards to this. This is totally unacceptable. It's just unacceptable.
I'm even happy it's alive. I'm happy because I thought
that boy could have been dead by now. If this thing hit the head and the brain, whatever it is, you would have been dead.
You can only imagine how the parents are feeling now.
And he was asked in this interview what he wants to be done to the people who did that. And he said the government should just look for them and do whatever they want to do. You know, and it goes to another way to ask, what punishment are we giving to these people who were involved in this? Is it a punishment that will make them feel, okay, it's one of those that I could just come back still and do what I want to do again? Or it's a kind of punishment. They've been arrested, but yes.
Yeah, they should take them to the right They can't take, if they are below 18, they can't take them to
they'll have to take them to
the juvenile. I don't know, but this is crazy. Anyway, I don't know if we have some messages, then we can wrap up. But let me take your last remarks on the entire conversation. I'll start with you, Grace. What do you want to say before we go? We're going.
Okay, so on the previous or this one.
Oh, any remarks you want to give? You could be saying good morning to Dr. Bao.
Oh, I didn't say.
Oh, you didn't
because
say
I
that.
came in late.
Yes, you did say.
Oh, and the last
That's
time.
what I'm reminding you.
Oh, yes. The last time I came, you weren't here when I won the elections. I think I came to meet
Roslyn, right?
Roslyn here. So I didn't jubilate because I wanted to come and tell
because we spoke about that and how you're going to win.
And then you were waiting for me to come back to see if I will lose or I will win. But I came here, unfortunately, you were not here.
I'm happy you won.
You are here.
I'm happy you
I won. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is now the flag bearer elect for the NPP. I want to say a good morning to him and a good morning to Her Excellency Samira Bawumia, the former Second Lady of the Republic of Ghana. A lot have been said today, but I still want to say one thing, that it's nice to have our history. I'm for it. I'm for our history. But then I would have wished they waited a while to take a look at the changes critically, to implement it at a different time. I was concerned about the timing. The timing was wrong. They should have waited to solve the issues of they can't solve everything, but some of the issues, the penny issues now. This week we've had a lot of things trending, and people are worried, genuinely worried. It's not about people are on social media talking about ECG, their lights running like Usain Bolt. I mean, the meters are running like Usain Bolt. We've seen it. All these things are going on this week. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Farmers are crying.
Transmitters and transformers.
The small businesses are crying because they feel Doomsaw is back. They are not getting power to run their businesses. It's true.
I listened to the PR of
I watched one document.
It says that it is not back.
I watched one. Yes, I watched one interview on
Roxanne
Joy. That's Joy News.
Yeah.
Right? Your station. And then I think there was a lady who is a car wash place.
Yeah.
I watched that interview with the car wash owner, the barber, the hairdresser. And it is not from me. Your station.
Yeah, Roxanne addressed most of
I watched it
today. Yeah,
so you see, all these issues are ongoing. People are complaining about ECG, about meters. Cocoa farmers on the other side are crying at the cocoa board. Teachers, I saw one that teachers were out there today in red. Of course, all these things. That's what I'm saying. That the timing is bad. You didn't listen to everything that we said. When I came here, I didn't cancel it. I didn't say it wasn't good. I said they should hold on for us to rectify some of the issues, solve some of the issues before going ahead with the name change. But like I said, we slept and woke up and they said, we don't care, we want to do this and we will go ahead and do it whilst we are in this. So this is how I want to wrap up. Please, listen to the ordinary Ghanaian. They voted for you because of what they want to gain from you. Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Grace, Betty, you also do some, Betty might even end up doing 10 minutes, so just do 2 minutes. That's how it's done. You see, you should have let her go first. I know, right? I'll just end quickly. Betty, do 1 minute, 2 minutes for me. They're pressing me now that our time is up. KMJ, thank you again. And in fact, let me use the opportunity to appreciate you for hosting the two of us. Trust me, when women come together, we're able to discuss issues that are of relevance to us. You realize that when it came to the subject of the violence in our schools, we have been able to discuss it to the fantastic job both and I feel that is what women bring on board. We actually look at issues the way they are and how it will promote peace and development in general. And so I am of the view that our spouse should be properly be looked at.
I'm using the opportunity to call on corporate Ghana. The National Sports Fund has been established and government cannot do it all. If we are having some of these challenges have been there since time immemorial, and we saw that there was the need for us to develop our sports to the next level. Government have taken the initiative. Let all of us come on board. Let's contribute so that at least proper infrastructure can be put in place. The proper orientation and the awareness creation will be created. The proper training will be given so that at the end of the day, our citizens will, have the benefit of it and not suffer the violence that they are currently going through. Whilst we are at it, let me use this opportunity to say a big thank you and a good morning to my very hard-working Minister for Sports, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. You are doing wonderful. The people of Ghana are very proud of you. And through your hard work, we are elevating His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and people can see that he made the right decision in making you the Minister for Sports. And to the popular subject matter about the renaming of the... I'm not going to the Kotoka, and I'm saying that the Accra International Airport is a national name, and the people of Ghana must be very proud. I am proud to be here today. I'm proud to live up to today to see
be proud. The ordinary Ghanaians is watching.
Today when I sit on the flight and I'm traveling, I don't have to explain. I am proud that this is the Accra International Airport. And when I hear the pilot or the captain, announce that we are currently at Accra International Airport, I am very proud to explain to everybody. Thank you very much for your platform.
All right, thank you. And let me also say a big good morning to the Honorable Minister, Honorable Kofi Adams, one incredible human being. I've had opportunity of meeting him, myself, and a couple of other media personalities when he wanted to. In fact, it's still one of his dreams, the lesser-known sports.
Yeah.
He wants to just push them up like that, and we had some meetings with regards to that, and we've all been doing our bit, silently in promoting lesser sport. I play tennis, long tennis, so I'm excited that we put attention to all those other sporting activities as well. So, Honorable, a big good morning to you, and yes, we're grateful for the push. Anyway, we're ending up this morning, but let me say thank you to these incredible women who joined me this morning here in the studio. Very distinguished women who know their stuff. Joining me here on the show, Grace Akosua Amoabeng is with the NPP. And she's Baumia's right-hand woman.
Yeah, that's me.
Right-hand woman. And also joining me this morning, Betty Crosby also joined us here on the show. And she's technical advisor for the Minister of Sports and Recreation. We've got some messages. Maybe I'll just do a few of them and then we'll wrap it up. If I don't read this one, I'll have issues. Master Planner, he will come and attack me after. So it says, can NEC communicators stop talking about this so-called reset, inter-school sporting gone wrong, and you are sitting there talking about reset agenda. You people still speak like you are in opposition. Please allow us to breathe and get work. This is not what Ghanaians voted for. Cocoa farmers are crying, graduates are crying, and students are also crying. Master Planner, your message is read. Come and attack me. Good morning, Joy Prime. Renaming Kotoka Airport is long overdue since we cannot glorify coup makers who truncated democratic rule in Ghana. Indeed, it's dishonest for NPP to criticize the name change after renaming several universities. Accra Stadium, Flagstaff House, OSA, JSS, HS, SHS, SSS, Tamale, Kumasi Airport. What was good for the Tamale and Kumasi Airport is also good for Accra International Airport. Case closed. All right, let me go to this one over here. Good morning, everyone. Please, NPP should be blamed for what is happening in our SHS. The free SHS is allowing these hooligans to have no clue of studying, but instead causing troubles in schools. You can't say that the free SHS is the cause of that, please. Let's not do that. If students decide they want to misbehave, don't link it to his free SHS. Good morning, KMJ. Why did the NDC take too long in renaming this airport? We Ghanaians careless about the action of this dubious NPP people who always feel they are right in doing anything in this country, but someone has no right to do the right thing. KMJ, look, not only Kotoka that is going to be renamed, but any institution that was changed by the NPP will be renamed to its original state. So that's in Bama, who sent in that one. Sadat, is that what you really want to do? Okay, guys, help me out. Okay, let me go here and see. This one says that infrastructure is great, but the reality is that most of these deviants acts outside the venues of these games. We must task the various schools to take responsibility for every student who comes to the stadium and should be made to provide answers to some of these issues. Students must be issued with identity cards, and these must be used to enter the venues at all levels. Additionally, we must promote inter-school fraternization within the regions even before these games to promote the spirit of comradarian and amongst the students, and also kill the tensions for misconduct by students when they meet. Like I'm saying, some of them, they just go because they want to go and fight. They don't even know that what the sports they are engaging is for love and unity. Michael from Spinter says, good morning, KMJ, and to your panelists. Grace is too agitated for nothing. We were in this country, and Akufo-Addo administration just imposed the levy, betting tax, high VAT rate, COVID levy, just to mention a few on the ordinary Ghanaians who are trying to meet their essential needs. But for the NPP, Akufo-Addo team take this taxes to make their polytank fact with money. Sicilian you meant to say. So what is bad about cocoa sector that the NPP has caused financial loss to the NDC? And this is back to receive to revive it. Propaganda politics that Grace and NPP minorities do, and NPP never again. Yeah, I know. Okay, this one over here. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please help me ask the NPP woman that how many universities and secondary schools did Akufo-Addo build in terms of infrastructure? For good 8 years, you people couldn't do anything better for the development of the country. So she should keep quiet and stop the unnecessary propaganda. His Excellency John Dramani is doing a fantastic job. This is from Samuel in Takrade. Good morning, I'm Freddie Al. Please, I want to know how much the government is going to invest into this project. This name should have been changed long ago, but now teachers, students, and nurses are home. Please kindly inform the NDC communicator to leave. Oh boy. This one says, KMJ, do you know what reset is? I'm honestly not surprised about the name change diversion to eliminate the dubious and scandalous reset in the cocoa price for the farmers on our media space. The NDC is good in changing the narrative in our media space to escape the government incompetence. Next election into my East constituency sent in that. This one says, good morning, KMJ, and your respected ladies panelists listening to the NPP woman. They will remain in opposition for a very long time. No substance in the contribution. Karim Starboy in Tema. Okay, all right, very well. That will be the last message for today.